If you want to be the best, you can't be normal. You need to be obsessed. It's not what you have done during your training camp that will make you a champion. It's what you have done all your life.
You know, George St-Pierre, he's a special guy. He really is a special athlete.
George St-Pierre is the greatest ever. If you have to make a case for, I don't think there's a stronger case for anyone than for George St-Pierre.
My sport is very controversial. In normal life, I'm a very peaceful guy, but what I do for a living is to win a fight.
My dream come true, guys. Thank you for the support. Everybody here that came to support me, thank you so much. My dream come true.
I actually started martial art because I was bullied at school. Instead of focusing on what the teacher was explaining in front of the class, I was focusing on how I'm gonna get out of the class, take my books, and reach the bus before the bullies get me and hit me.
He was beating me up in the bus all the time. He was ridiculizing me. I had like Adidas pants that you can tie like this. He was like taking off, so I was like an underwear in front of everybody, in front of the girl. He was beating me up all the time, and he was stronger than me. He was like 3-4 years older than me, and he was tall and strong guy. He's a hockey player back in the day, and yeah, I couldn't beat him.
So that's how I started karate at first, Kyokushin karate. First, when I saw the first UFC, I was a teenager. And I saw Royce Gracie, who was relatively small to compare to the guy that he was fighting against. And a lot of his opponents, like Kimo and all those guys, they were very intimidated. You know, they looked like bullies. And I saw Royce Gracie winning the first UFC, was beating all those big, intimidating guys. So when I saw that, it really inspired me, because I kind of, at the time, I never really took physically my revenge against the bullies. So it really inspired me, because I had seen Royce Gracie doing it. So I knew at that time, I was like, wow, this guy is amazing, and I really wanted to become like him. And then after I got into UFC, I made 3,000 plus 3,000, you know, to fight in the UFC, my first fight. Then it got bigger and bigger.
I do it for business, for living, and I never really liked to fight, because I first started to avoid fighting, and I ended up doing it for a living. I don't know nobody that loves his job 100%. Everybody that have a job, that love, maybe they love their job 90% of their job, maybe 95% of their job. Normally, there's 365 days in a year. I used to fight maybe twice a year. So if you put that in percentage, it's a very small percentage. So I could say that a big percentage of my job, I love it. I love to train. I love the mind game of how I'm gonna beat someone, how to solve a problem. But the actual competition, and I don't think it's me who's fighting in a cage. I think right now you're talking to George St-Pierre. When I fight in a cage, I'm GSP.
Yeah.
So GSP I'm putting a mask. Even though I'm scared and terrified inside, when I'm going to fight, I have to put my poker face and go all in. I act like it's impossible for me to fail, and I am excited to go in there and to find out how I'm gonna win. Of course, if you don't put the work, you won't be able to do it. It's the same thing if you have an exam at school and you try to look confident, but you have not studied. It's hard to do it. You need to put on the work. And I know every time I don't cheat, I don't cut corner, I put the work into it. But even though I put the work into it, I'm still nervous. But I know I've prepared the best I could have prepared. So it's the same thing when you have an exam and you study the best you could study. You'll be nervous, but you can put a mask and know that you're going there confident, because you know you put the work into it. And that's the same thing. So when I'm going into a fight, I know I put the work into it, so I can put a mask. I win big or I lose big, but I go all in. I don't go halfway. You have to go all in these games. The fear, it's normal to be afraid. Kasamoto used to say to Mike Tyson, I remember, and I use that in my psychological training. He said, fire It can help you cook your food, you know. It could be your friend. It could be a good thing, but it can also burn you. So fire can be a good thing. Fear could be a good thing. It can elevate you, make you more sharp. Your reaction time, your decision-making time. You'll be on the edge. You'll be faster. You'll be sharper and quicker. However, it could also make you crumble under the pressure. You need to take it for what is good, not for what is bad. The two most important things is confidence and skill and knowledge. Skill and knowledge, it's one, and confidence, it's two. If you have all the skills and knowledge, but you don't have the confidence, it's useless. On the other hand, too, if you have the confidence, but you don't have the skills and knowledge, that means you have a credit card, but you have $0 in your bank account. So you need both, and that's what is very important. Skill, knowledge, and confidence. When it makes everything together, when you mix it all together, that's where magic can happen. Champions have the capacity to be good when it counts, when it matters. You know, to be a champion, you need to be good when it matters. At that time, at that location, under those conditions. That's what it is to be champion. Some guy, they just can't play it, and that's what makes the difference. Very often it's because of psychological problems. You know, they got crushed by the pressure and they felt overwhelmed. Everybody loses in the beginning in mixed martial arts, especially in jiu-jitsu. It's a very humble beginning. You have to lose. In jiu-jitsu, you start to learn how to lose before you start winning. And it's a normal process. Everybody goes through that process. I don't care who you are. Everybody has started the same way. You learn how to tap before you make someone else tap. But everybody goes through that phase. And nobody can say, oh, I had it hard in the beginning, it's normal. You know, everybody has it hard. But that's how you recognize a winner. It's how you bounce back from adversity. When things go well, it's very easy. When things go well, everything goes well. But how are you gonna bounce back from a negative thing? That's what determines you. I know it sounds silly, but my last fight with Michael Bisping, the rear naked choke, the fight happened, the sequence of the finish happened exactly, not exactly like I thought, but I had many visualizations that I finished Michael Bisping with a rear naked choke. Some he tapped, some he didn't tap, some happened, and of course, at a different situation, different position, but I had different imagery that I finished Michael Bisping with a rear naked choke, maybe more than 100. So very often those imagery are image of the future for you. Or might not be exactly the same future, but will be one parallel universe future that you could think of. I know it sounds crazy, but you need to be crazy to be champion. Never finish an imagery on the negative note, because it's not good for your confidence. You're always the winner in your own world.